Namaskar and welcome to yet another exciting episode of our podcast series CEO Online Ed Talks, based on a case study content supported by Harvard Business Publishing. This podcast is shot inside a living legacy, the Khadi production and retail hub that not only sells but manufactures this iconic fabric. I'm sitting in the middle of the rhythmic hum of the spinning wheels and the scent of raw cotton. Here, history isn't just remembered, it's woven. Khadi was the soul of a movement, a call for self-reliance and an economic revolution led by none other than Mahatma Gandhi. The essence of Khadi lies in its time-honored manual production process. The journey of every Khadi garment begins with the charkha, a hand-operated spinning wheel that transforms raw cotton into thread. So that thread's journey continues right here in the loom room. The thread is transferred to the manual-operated looms, where the skilled artisans weave it into a fabric with rhythm, patience, and unmatched precision. This is indeed a true example of sustainable development. Khadi's entire weaving process is free of electricity. Each meter of Khadi tells a story, not just of sustainability, but of dignity of labor and of India's rich heritage. To find out more how Khadi achieved this transformation, we are stepping into Sri Gandhi Ashram Khadi Bhandar, a store with rich history and renewed spirit. Namaskar and hello everyone. In today's podcast, we will reflect on a case study of the past of one of the outlets of Khadi, situated in a busy market. There was a time when that particular outlet was not performing at its full potential. But it's important to remember that it was then. Now Khadi has taken all the strides forward, modernizing and staying connected to its root values. So let us deep dive into that past and see how Khadi has evolved as a brand of legacy. So to discuss this case, we have with us Professor Dr. Navneet Sehgal.
Hi.
So welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Sehgal is a computer science professor in Chandigarh University. She is a passionate advocate for sustainable living. Dr. Sehgal, a mother of two, gradually transformed her lifestyle by adopting organic food items, natural cleaning agents, and plastic-free alternatives. Her journey began with a desire to create a healthier home environment and soon evolved into a mission to reduce her ecological footprints. While exploring ethical clothing options, she discovered Khadi. Its breathable texture, minimal carbon footprints, and deep-rooted connection to the Indian heritage appealed to her values. So welcome to the show, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you for having me to the show.
All right. So let's deep dive into this case study, Sri Gandhi Ashram Khadi Bhandar, Sustaining the Revolutionary Fabric, content supported by Harvard Business Publishing. So ma'am, you have also gone through this case of one of the outlets of Khadi that was not performing well at certain times.
Yeah.
So please help us understand that what was the situation of that outlet at that time and why it had underperformed despite being in a prime location.
Yeah, despite the outlet being in a busy area, it was not attracting potential customers. And we also know that Khadi is deep rooted with cultural heritage and Gandhian values, but still it was not able to map with the customer segment just because, the aesthetics were not very strong. The display of, products was not mapped with the customer preferences.
Right.
And, something was missing. They need to align themselves with the new segment of the customers, their choices, and there has to be some modernization to take place on the khadi at the khadi store. So that was really missing, and I think that they finally identified certain gaps, and now the things are way better. So this case does reflect that although the khadi is a brand which has its storytelling, khadi is a brand which is deep rooted in its culture, but even such brands, they can falter if they do not adapt to certain frameworks,
Right.
they do not adapt to the modernization, they do not adapt to the customer preferences. And so this case study is the best thing to tell the entrepreneurs and the people in strategic decision making that if you want to get a boom in your business, you have to go with the trend, with the changing preferences, and with the modernization that today is calling for.
Right, very true. So that means this is a clear illustration that footfall alone is not sufficient.
Yes.
But again, that was a moment in time. And since then, Khadi has, transformed. And I mean, what an inspiring transformation.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, ma'am. So, ma'am, we want to understand from the technical perspective that there might have been some blind spots at that time. So, can you help us analyze those blind spots in the store's strategy at that time?
Yeah, absolutely. When diagnosing why the khadi brand, that is not, coming up in a way that it should have because of it being tied to our cultural heritage. So, PEST framework is one framework, that, can make us understand that what would have happened and what has contributed to the gradual decline of khadi at that time,
Right,
So I'm talking about the time when that case has happened.
right,
So, and this PEST framework, it helps you to look beyond the four walls of that outlet,
right,
and then you can definitely judge that where has gone wrong.
right,
So this PEST framework gives us an idea about the political,
right.
economical, social, and technological, aspects.
Right.
What would have happened to khadi store on these grounds.
Right,
So politically, as we know that khadi is tied to the government and government policies, and it has been receiving subsidies and KVIC scheme, but although all that was happening, but still store was not able to innovate something. So it could be maybe due to the bureaucratic inertia, that could have not helped store to grow in a way it should have grown. Secondly, economically, if I talk about, economically, it should tap the customer segment, the youth, which wants to spend, and that customer preference was never taken care of.
right.
So the middle class youth that was craving for sustainability, aesthetic products, and to our surprise, khadi is it talks about sustainability.
Yes.
Khadi is all about that, and that was the irony, because khadi could have tapped that customer presence like anything, but that was a flaw there. And economically, the biggest blind spot was relevance. Khadi never connected to youth and the modern lifestyles, and that is where it could have taken a stride but couldn't take. And then technologically, it had very low digital presence. So there were no social media presence, no Instagram accounts, and people were not aware of the brand because there was no Google ad campaigns or anything like that. So if we see through the if we zoom out through the lens of PEST framework, then they'll come to know that there were many missed opportunities that Khadi could have taken up.
Right.
And the story had been quite different, what we learned from that case. And
Yes.
definitely now the things have changed for better. Yes.
Yes, completely changed, I
Yeah.
must say. That's very insightful breakdown, and Khadi has addressed all these dimensions, and especially on the digital front. Right.
Yeah.
So moving to our next question, ma'am. From a modernization theory, what would have been the core challenges for the outlet at that time?
Modernization at its core is about how traditional societies have changed due to industrialization, due to technological breakthroughs, and due to the societal change, right? So Khadi evolved as a brand of India's resistance during the freedom struggle, a Gandhian movement to make India self-reliant, and it was a simpler brand. But as modernization came in, consumer preferences shifted,
Yeah.
and the younger generation was more, fashion oriented, brand conscious, and designs that were a little on that Gen Z type of a feel. So people moved toward convenience, fashion forward things, and comfortability also. And it was all due to modernization, and I think Khadi couldn't keep pace with that.
Right. So we are talking about a particular outlet of that time
Yeah.
that couldn't keep pace with the modernization.
Yeah,
flow.
of course.
Right.
Yes.
All right, ma'am. So moving to our next question. As we were discussing just now that Gen Z was missing. So that means that was a younger generation that was untapped by that particular store. So what had been, then thereafter they also made multiple changes. And now let's talk about that how they could attract the the generation Z to Khadi.
So that is a great question. The younger generation, particularly the millennials and the Gen Z, they basically crave for authenticity. They crave for sustainability and personal designs. And Khadi is very much aligned to that because it is eco-friendly.
Yes.
It has roots in its heritage, and the products are breathable. But still there was something missing, as we discussed. It could not attract that segment of population. So I think it needed to have a product revamp to cater to millennials and Gen Z. There has to be, some fashion designers could play a role in that. They could have tie-ups with them. There could be some fusion cuts. They could, start with scarves and handbags, all that handicraft thing. And Khadi could have done a storytelling in-house, a story of the weavers, of the handicrafts, of the livelihood of, the weavers. So if they could have crafted a storyline into what goes behind making of a khadi fabric and how sustainable it is, how much it is supporting the livelihood of the artisans, that definitely makes a difference. And then since we all know that this younger generation is always stuck at Instagram and
Right.
reels and stuff, so the khadi could have revealed themselves to that platforms, and could have been able to tap the younger generation through Google Ads, through Insta, through Facebook and stuff. So all these things, could have really opened up their doors towards the younger generation,
Right.
which are actually looking for certain fabrics like khadi, but they are not, knowing them on because of their lesser visibility on the digital platforms.
And that's very true. And I think Khadi has already started to, implement all these steps, and it
Yeah.
is showing great results in terms of customer engagement and the brand
And yes,
engagement.
this case has been a mind opener for the total unit of Khadi, because
Yes,
it gave a lot of insights into what good could be done
right.
overall to scale up the sales
Right,
and
right. Very
reputation.
true, ma'am. Very true. So we have been talking about all those challenges. Now let's talk about the solutions.
Yeah.
So there is one framework called the RACE framework, that is React, Act, Create, and Engage. So according to this framework, what could have been the solution to this particular problem that has been faced by the Khadi outlet?
Absolutely. The RACE framework, React, Act, Convert, and Engage, is an action oriented framework for end to end digital marketing strategy. Let's break it down. React is for visibility. And as I had been telling you, that, for visibility, you need to have digital footprint. You need to increase digital footprint. There has to be a social media presence. There has to be Google ads things coming up. Then you can have Instagram and Facebook reels, and it should all be weaving the storytelling of sustainability and make in India. So through reach, we can actually increase the visibility. Second is act. So once people discover you, how do you get them to interact? And this is where content becomes king.
Right.
And as we have been talking, that if I am giving behind the stories, if I'm giving the whole process that is going behind the making of khadi, so all those Instagram reels and Facebook content and the
Right.
virtual tours of the khadi emporiums, so interacting with people, sharing QR codes, giving them discounts, offering them seasonal collections, so all those things, it can boost the performance of that khadi outlet.
Right.
So in the third, which I was talking about, is convert, and this is where the interest converts into a purchase. Adding a smooth e-commerce option for smooth checkouts, user-friendly e-commerce option, and then giving discounts new for new users. Then Khadi bundle things, that whenever a new customer is coming on, then you have a Khadi bundle type of a thing which can attract the new customers, giving student discounts and all that stuff. It helps a lot.
Right.
Engage is about building long-term relationships. It could be through email, newsletters, and it could be through loyalty programs. So this race framework can make a passive looking store a very transformed one, a very dynamic one. So that is the power of this race framework.
Right, and I think that's a very clear roadmap. And Khadi has been implementing all these steps, and reintroducing itself to a
Yeah,
brand that is suitable for all the customers.
yeah, perfectly.
Yes. So as we know that there is a limited control on the national campaigns by any outlet. So, but since the outlet wasn't performing, that well, so the local team might have thought of some steps. So, can you just help us find out that what steps would have been taken by the local team of that outlet at that time?
Yeah, so that's a key insight. Leadership doesn't always require a large scale authority.
Right.
You don't always need to take permission for innovation. You can always initiate at that time. And that store, it could have, managed this through customer relationships, sending messages via apps, certain promotions of the products, such like scenarios. And if you happen to build customer relationships, then there is no fall that could take place. So
Right.
yes, the local management administration, if it had taken certain initiatives, like doing certain events in their store itself, which could attract the customers, so definitely the store would have risen in a better way.
Right. And I think this case reminds us that the real transformation always starts at the root level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, ma'am, moving ahead, so what short-term actions might have been taken at that time that have made the quick difference? So, can you just help us figure out those quick steps that have been taken that made an immediate difference at that time?
Yeah, so as we have been discussing throughout the case that it the store revamping was very important. The
Right.
displays would have been quite attractive. Then there has to be digital presence all the way. Then you could always have tied up with the fashion industry, the people from textile engineering or textile
Right.
industry,
Right.
and you could have collaborated with that and then come up with certain products which Khadi might have showcased as a pilot study in their stores. And the Instagram reels that I was talking about, the customer engagement, the loyalty things with the customer, the coupons, the discounts, and such things, they do make a lot of difference.
And I think all these steps are quite impactful and realistic ones. And I think all the stores of Khadi have started implementing all these steps across
Yeah,
the
and
entire
definitely
country.
that is what we are seeing
That
today.
really
Yeah.
is very true. Very
Yeah.
true. So now coming to the last question, what insights, what lessons the learners of management or marketing students or the strategy students learn from this case?
Yeah, so this is a very relevant question for this podcast. And this case is a gold mine for marketing and strategy students. It is not just about selling a fabric, it is, revamping the legacy, which has its deep roots, but you have to revive it through innovation. So it gives us certain breakthroughs. And first is that, legacy also needs innovation. So you need to be innovating as per the consumer preferences, as per the customer demands. And second takeaway is that location isn't everything. It's not like that it's a prime spot, so it'll work. No, you will have to pull the customer to your outlet through all those things that we have discussed in this podcast. And then, you have to target your customers. So since we know that the younger generation is more towards sustainability and breathable clothing, which, ironically, Khadi stands for that. It is so eco-friendly and stuff. So we need to target those customers through their form, the way they want them to be targeted through digital media. Another takeaway is that you have to strategize the things within constraints. So even if that store was running locally, so it could have developed certain strategy within its own context, with its own ways and means to attract the customers, and then probably could have given feedback to the larger organization, the Khadi organization, so that appropriate steps could be taken on time. And then, emotional type of setup in marketing, it does work. And most powerful, the frameworks are practical. The RACE framework, the PEST framework for diagnosing, RACE for marketing, and, this modernization theory. So these all are there, which have helped Khadi to revive into what it is today. So in a nutshell, I would like to say that this case is a masterclass in blending tradition with transformation.
So, a brilliant set of insights, ma'am. This case reminds us that history can be a foundation but not a limitation.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, ma'am, for unpacking this fascinating case with us with that much clarity and depth.
Yeah, pleasure is on mine.
Thank you so much. And thank you, listeners, for joining us in this journey from loom to showroom. Remember, Khadi isn't just a fabric, it's a legacy. Whether that legacy thrives or fades depends upon how closely we blend tradition with transformation. This is Dr. Monica Singh signing off from the looms and the heart of Khadi. So thank you so much. Till then, stay curious and stay connected to your roots. Thank you.